When I worked in the strategy department of a large oil and gas company, my boss Alex was one of the brightest people I'd ever met. His financial modeling skills were legendary, precise, creative, and elegant. We often worked on high-stakes projects, assessing new merger and acquisition targets, evaluating restructuring and disposal options when oil prices dropped, or preparing investment cases for expanding our retail network into neighboring countries. These were projects that shaped the company's future. But there was one problem. Alex didn't trust anyone to touch his models. He would spend nights building every financial forecast from scratch, cell by cell. Our job as analysts was to prepare basic data tables he could copy-paste into his masterpiece. Imagine the frustration, sitting on the sidelines of exciting strategic projects while your boss clung to every formula as if letting go would break the company. Alex wasn't lazy or insecure. He was just afraid that no one else could meet his standard of perfection, afraid that a mistake in a delegated task could cost him credibility. And in that fear, he became the bottleneck for progress, especially for other talented people. The Delegation Dilemma. Alex's story is not unique. It's the story of countless talented leaders who climb the ranks because they're good at doing, not necessarily leading. When they reach managerial positions, their strength becomes their weakness. Delegation feels risky. It feels inefficient. It feels like losing control. After all, imagine yourself checking someone else's complex, spaghetti-like Excel file, where just a small overlooked cell or a broken link can make a huge miscalculation. I'll do it myself attitude no longer looks that strange, does it? But as Henry Mintzberg once said, what's wrong with efficiency? Plenty. Managers obsessed with efficiency often forget that leadership isn't about speed or precision. It's about developing capacity. Efficiency focuses on doing things right. Leadership focuses on making sure the right people are doing the right things. And sometimes that means slowing down to teach, trust, and let others grow. Delegation isn't about saving time. It's about building future capability. Why leaders resist delegation? If delegation is so powerful, why do smart leaders like Alex still avoid it? It's faster if I do it myself. True once. But leadership isn't a sprint. It's a marathon. Each time you take on a task your team could learn, you trade short-term speed for long-term stagnation. They won't do it right. Translation, they won't do it my way. But your way isn't always the only way, or even the best one. Delegation requires humility, the willingness to accept different paths to the same goal. I'm the best person for the job. You might be, but if you're the only person who can do it, that's not strength, that's dependency. Great leaders make themselves replaceable by multiplying skills in others. Delegating takes too long. Initially, yes, but teaching once saves you from doing it 100 times. Delegation is an investment, and like any investment, its value compounds over time. The hidden costs of not delegating. When leaders cling to control, everyone loses. Leaders burn out. The weight of every decision becomes unbearable. You can't scale your time, and soon you can't scale your impact. Teams disengage. When people are trusted only with routine work, they stop thinking creatively. Why bother trying when your boss will redo it anyway? Innovation dies. A culture of control suffocates experimentation. No one takes initiative if mistakes are punished. Organizations stall. A team that depends on one person's expertise can't adapt or grow. Alex's obsession with doing everything himself made him incredibly efficient, but his team, and by extension his department, became dependent, cautious, and slow. Efficiency, in Mintzberg's words, was the enemy of effectiveness. The micromanagement trap. Micromanagement often disguises itself as commitment to excellence. Leaders tell themselves they're ensuring quality, maintaining standards, or being hands-on. But underneath is often fear of failure, fear of loss of control, or fear of being judged. Perfectionism fuels this cycle. The perfectionist leader believes they're setting a high bar. In reality, they're setting a limit because no one dares to take risks or think independently. As Marshall Goldsmith reminds us, what got you here won't get you there. The habits that make someone an exceptional performer, precision, independence, control, can make them a terrible delegator. Leadership requires a new mindset, one that replaces control with trust. How to break the cycle. Here are a few tips on how to overcome the most common delegation issues. Start small. Don't hand off your biggest project right away. Start with low-stakes tasks and build your confidence in the process. Delegate outcomes, not instructions. Define what success looks like, not how to get there. Let your team take ownership of the how. Accept imperfection. Done is often better than perfect. Perfection slows growth. Progress builds momentum. Coach, don't correct. Replace "show me what you did wrong" with "how can I support you better next time?" Celebrate effort and learning. Reward initiative, not just flawless execution. Every delegated task is a chance for someone to grow. Delegation is leadership in action. Delegation is not a loss of control. It's the ultimate test of trust. When you delegate, you're saying, "I believe you can do this." That belief transforms people. Teams trusted to deliver take more responsibility. They think, innovate, and lead. Leaders who delegate effectively don't just manage work. They build capacity. As Mintzberg might argue, efficiency belongs to machines. Leadership belongs to people. And people grow only when you let go. The shift from doing to leading. Delegation marks the moment a manager becomes a leader. It's the point where your success stops depending on your individual output and starts depending on the performance of others. Power starts with control. Empowerment shares it. Delegation multiplies it. In the next lesson, we'll look at what effective delegation actually looks like, how to move beyond task distribution toward genuine ownership and accountability. Because once you stop doing everything yourself, you finally have time to lead.